Now, unless you've been living under a rock, I'm pretty sure most people know what's going on right now in this region. Yes, there is a new conflict that has erupted in the Middle East, very surprising, and it couldn't be more visible through Flightradar24, as just a few days ago, Iran actually closed their entire airspace to all civilian air traffic, and it looks like Iraq and maybe even Syria may have also closed their airspace. And now, as of June 2025, there is a massive hole in the air traffic on flight radar over this region. And if you think about it, like this is actually quite an eerie sight to see. Like, just to think about how large of an area that is currently closed off to the entire world. And I made a very similar video to this one in 2022 during the wake of the war in Ukraine, when, you know, the Ukrainian airspace was first closed, and I was not at all expecting it to go on for so long. And it's crazy now that in 2025 there's literally 2 holes in the air traffic instead of just the one in Ukraine, and they're not small gaps at all. Like these are huge regions we're talking about, especially the Middle East. Like, look at this, like literally half the Middle East is closed off right now, and it's just like so crazy, but also interesting to look at. But what is even more interesting about the airspace closure is these routes that airliners now have to take. I mean, you can just see a plethora of airliners along the edges of the airspace closure. And obviously in 2022, Russia closed its airspace off to just the Western airlines traveling from Europe to East Asia. So basically for the last 3 years, Western airlines traveling from Europe to East Asia haven't been able to take the quickest route, which would be directly over Russia, obviously. And technically this map that we're looking at isn't very accurate, because it looks like all these aircraft are currently on the quickest route, but it's basically due to the curvature of the Earth that this flat map of the world is like completely inaccurate when it comes to flight paths. I'm pretty sure it's called like the Mercator projection, but I'm pretty sure most people are aware of that. Yeah, I think you guys get the point. These airliners traveling from Europe to Asia have had to basically go like underneath Russia and through the Middle East like for the last 3 years or so, but now half of the Middle East is closed off, so we can see all these airliners traveling from Europe to Asia basically being funneled down this very slim route through the Caucasus. I mean, we're basically reviving the Silk Road at this point, with how inconvenient these flight routes have become due to the massive airspace closures. I mean, just look at how inconvenient this route from Medina to Ashgabat, Turkmenistan is. They could just fly straight there, but they gotta go all the way around. It's just crazy to look at this. I mean, even up in Europe, aircraft traveling from like Kaliningrad to Moscow have to go all the way around as well. It almost looks stupid, and it like obviously it burns so much unnecessary fuel, but unfortunately it's just genuinely just the politics that force these inconvenient flight routes and, you know, airspace closures. And by the way, I'm not making this video to talk about the politics of what's going on right now. I mean I can already smell the hundreds of political comments from a mile away right now that I'm about to receive. Yeah, I'm only making this video just to sort of like document what the global air travel map looks like right now, because it's very interesting and like even eerie to see. And I mean, like, who knows if this could end tomorrow or if it's gonna last for years like Ukraine did. I mean, we genuinely don't know. So that's kind of why I'm making this video. Like I said earlier, when I made a similar video about Ukraine, I did not expect the hole in the air traffic to last for so long, but like I guess I didn't really know what to expect at all. So like we don't really know how long this Middle Eastern air traffic hole is going to last, which is really eerie but also interesting at the same time, especially here on Flightradar24, just to see what it looks like, because it's so odd and out of place to just have like such a random gap in the air traffic, especially in like what was usually a really busy flight route. Like this was a really busy flight route over like Iran and Iraq. But to close things out, I just want to say again that I'm not trying to make any, you know, political claims here, and it is really a shame some of the stuff that has gone down recently in this region. And of course, I'm also making this video in the wake of the Air India crash, which was just horribly tragic. And I wanted to quickly say that I got a lot of requests to make a video about the Air India crash, but I generally don't make videos about crashes like in the first few days, just because there's so many other people on the internet that are just so quick to jump to conclusions in the first few days of a crash. And this is just me, but it feels a little disrespectful just to try and like farm views and make conclusions that you don't even know are true. I mean, of course, I still respect people that are genuinely trying to figure out what happened. Don't get me wrong there. Like, there's some really good videos out there right now, but yeah, I usually just avoid making videos instantly after a major crash happens, just to give some time for, you know, a heavy topic like that just to sink in. And I mean, there's literally people memeing on my last video where I just so happened to sit in seat 11A, and I think we all know the story behind seat 11A. But anyway, my heart just goes out to all those affected by the 787 crash, but also this new conflict that has erupted and those affected by that. And I think we're all just hoping things really get better as soon as they can. And that's really all I have to say for this one. So go check out Flightradar24 if you haven't already. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.